Okay, let's get started. So today I'm going to talk about the tuning fork. So I'm not going to focus on a specific text from the Taoist philosophy. The tuning fork is a really good metaphor of what we're doing in Tai Chi. So in relation to the gene keys, we talk about operating patterns where, depending on our frequency, we respond differently through a pattern depending on the frequency we're at. So the tuning fork is a good example. If we wake up in the morning and we're happy and we just put the intention out there, come what may, I'm going to have a happy day. Hey presto, you have a happy experience. If you wake up in a foul mood, convinced that the world is against you, you're going to experience that through the day. So as we're walking along the road, we're resonating at a frequency and it's reverberating and attracting experiences around us relative to that frequency. And we've got the opportunity to go up and down that sliding scale. Obviously it's going to be influenced by our ability to interact with different operating procedures and patterns in life, but if we can just set our intention that we're going to be positive, happy, and enjoy our experiences come what may, it's going to have an impact. So in relation to tuning forks, I thought we'd add an acupoint, which might seem a bit random, but there's one called the Palace of Hearing. I think we've discussed it before, but it's a small intestine point. So if we think of the tuning fork and our ability to listen to life around us, you can find it by going just in front of the ear and opening your jaw, and there'll be a recess, and that is small intestine 19. So very good point to massage for any hearing related issues, and the hearing is governed by the kidneys. So I thought we might take our practice to more focus on kidneys and bladder. Bladder is the paired channel with the kidneys. And that point, interestingly, is another very good calming point. So that can help us to get back into center. And we can think on our standing Qigong, that centering practice, the ability to get back to having a broader perspective around us and not being leaning or prejudiced in a particular direction. So if you let that sit, and we'll do some warm-ups. So I'll just do the hip rotations and let the arms relax around the body. And remember, as we refine movements, we refine behaviour. So the smoother and more fluid we get with our Tai Chi, the smoother and more fluid we can move through life. And I like to think of the tuning fork, they're a straight piece of metal, so I think of it on the vertical plane, related to myself, walking through life. Okay, then the knees, feet together, And thumbs across the tops of the kneecaps, thumb tips touching, and then some small rotations with the knees in one direction. Very good for your general knee health, helps keep the knee joints lubricated and hydrated. And then back the other way. And shoulders. So some small rotations in one direction. Keep the shoulders connected to the feet. And the more we can connect to the feet, the more we connect to the ground. Back the other way around with the shoulders. As we connect to the ground, we connect to nature and the rhythms of nature. Okay, some tapping, starting with the lower back, tapping the kidney area. So small intestine channel is linked to your heart. And they both go down into the little fingers. Heart goes down, small intestine channel comes up. Then 5 fingertips into the spleen points, outer rib cage underneath the chest. And then the sternum. And kidney 27, so above the top rib, below the collarbone. And then out to the long 1-2 points underneath the collarbone, inside the shoulder. So this sequence designed more for our immune system and our healing abilities. One side at a time with the lung 1 point. Easier to get into them. And then either side of the nose for the stomach points to connect into the spleen channel, which the stomach is paired with. And then we'll do that small intestine 19 point. So this can be good for tinnitus, any hearing issues, deafness. There are actually 3 points here. There's a gallbladder one below, and a triple burner point directly above. So there's 3 down here. So you can massage this whole area to good effect. They all have similar uses for working with the hearing. And then we'll do back of the hand between the ring finger and little finger. On the hand, not between the fingers. That's getting into our triple burner channel. And then the opposite side. Okay, so let's focus on a little bit of the standing still Jianzhong Qigong. So think of your tuning fork vertically aligned. Crown of the head high, tuck the chin in and drop your shoulders away from the ears. Flex the knees and sink down into the outside edges of the feet. So standing Qigong, standing still, foundation of Tai Chi and the martial arts. Very beneficial for general health and calm emotional state. Crown of the head high, chin tucked in. Back of the neck extends slightly. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and drop the hips away from the shoulders. So we want to generate a vertical axis, but as we do that, we still create space in the torso for the spine to find its natural curvature. So think of the plumb line going through the crown of the head, through the perineum at the base of the torso, and down between the feet. Abdominal breathing, but unusually with this practice, they don't prioritize the breathing, that naturally deepens. So imagine there's a small ball under each armpit to keep the arms proud of the torso, and that gives the lungs extra space for that deepening of the breathing process. Keep the knees flexed, resist the temptation to straighten the legs, and you may well feel the pulse rate quickening to complement the deepening of the breathing. And generally your temperature is going to be warming up. And if you want to come for a couple of minutes into hugging the tree, so that first pose is the Wuji posture, the opening posture for your Tai Chi forms usually. So with this one, the arms want to be shoulder height, elbows slightly lower, and you want a good spacing between the hands of 3 to 9 inches. But make sure you've got some curve in your arms. Don't have them too elongated or too close to your chest. And relax the shoulders. That relaxes the arms and the hands. Slightly deeper flex in your knees, but don't bring them forward of the toes. And imagine you're sitting on the edge of a high stool. So drop the hips away from the shoulders, but keep the lower back nice and flat. So as we relax the glutes and the legs, the hips can adjust naturally and accommodate this vertical axis. And when you've got your structure organised, make sure you scan the body to release any tension, any stiffness. So you want to relax around the organised structure. Crown of the head high, chin tucked in. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And remember, for the full benefits of this practice, they recommend 20 minutes plus. But start small and grow your practice. Don't go gangbusters in case you lose your enthusiasm and you start missing the odd day. And then days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months. And things become a distant memory. And then if you want to lower your arms, have a little shake out. So we'll do some moves to complement the hearing and the kidneys and that small intestine point. The small intestine is sometimes known as the secretary to the heart, and it separates the nutrients that need to stay in the body and lets go of the ones that we don't need. So a very good metaphor of our hearing capacity. We'll start with spinal cord breathing to invigorate ourselves a little bit more. So scarecrow position, and keep a degree of flex in your knees. As you lean back, breathe in. Drop the elbows slightly. And then as you come forward, the forearms vertical, light fist with both hands, and tuck the tailbone forward. Nice deep abdominal breathing. So if you start the breath low down, only feel the chest at the apex of the move. And as you drop the elbows down, that really opens up the chest. And that's also going to benefit your small intestine and heart channels. This one commonly taught for the kidneys, to activate the energy along the spine, and very good for your lungs. Breathing in as you come up, out as you come down. So kidneys govern our hearing and the ears, along with the spine, the bones, the bone marrow, the brain. And the shape of the kidneys actually mimics the shape of the ears. And we'll do one more of these. Okay, next we're going to do the bear form. So the bear is commonly associated with the winter season and the kidneys. So for this one, you want your palms facing upwards. Imagine you're holding two platters either side of you. The feet, I have a fairly wide shoulder stance for this one. And you want a nice flex in your knees. And the bear, it moves very fluidly. So very appropriate for the water connection. So as you turn to the side, keep the arms stationary. Palms facing upwards. And come back to center. And then rotate to the opposite side. Exhale as you turn. Inhale back to center. Keep the knees flexed. A nice one to focus on our vertical axis, vertical tuning fork. And back to center, have a little rest and do a second variation of that one. So kidneys are closely connected obviously with the lower back area and your lower back comfort. So your posture through the practice of the standing Qigong will greatly help your back. A nice upright posture allows the spine to find its natural curvature. It's not compressing into the lower back. But if you're sitting for long periods at computer screens, you might want to exercise or do something every 30 minutes or so. The spine generally does not like static for extended periods. It likes rotation and it likes some movement. Okay, the next bear form, you're going to push down with the hands. So same start position, and as you turn to the side, palms turn to face the floor and we sink down either side of the leg. Exhaling as the hands come down. Inhaling back to center as with the previous move. Keep the shoulders down, connected to the feet. And don't lock the knees when you come back to center. Keep a good degree of flex in them. One more on each side. And back to center. So in reference to being sat down in front of a computer screen or a desk anyway, an easy exercise that you can do while remaining seated is an aspect of the swimming dragon Qigong set. So the dragon stretches its tail. So if you turn to your left and have the palms facing towards you in front of each other, and then as you extend the arms away, rotate the palms and look over your opposite shoulder, and then come back to looking at the hands as they return to the start position. I'm exhaling on the extension, inhaling back to the start. Vertical axis, crown of the head nice and high. Keep the shoulders down, connected to the feet. And keep some flex in your knees. So kidney is very important for our longevity. They are the batteries that power this physical vehicle. And then if you want to swing the arms down, we can turn to the opposite side. The hands will be the other way around, but replicate the same movement. One side might feel more comfortable than the other, or easier. Exhaling on the extension, inhaling back to center. And finish on that one. Okay, a good calming move that integrates the kidneys is waving hands in clouds. So we'll do that one next. So hand to eye height, keep the hips aligned with the shoulders, and if you start with your left arm, rotate to the left. So we're always moving in the same direction as the raised elbow. We're moving around the tuning fork, the vertical axis, and just think of yourself relaxing around an alert, organized structure, keeping a balance between loose and floppy and hard and rigid. And the more relaxed and adaptable we become, the easier it is for our frequency to rise. We become an improved conduit. We're looking to optimize the conductance of energy through the body. They say certain frequencies or higher frequencies are very hard for the physical body to actually integrate with. So the more we can refine our movement and behaviour and refine the physical body and its energetics, the more successful or the more progress we might make in getting our tuning fork to a higher frequency. So crown of the head high, shoulders down away from the ears. Eyes want to be loosely focused on the spacing between the fingers, breathing through the nose and out through the nose. And coming back to centre. Okay, next one, rowing the boat. So if we start with the feet planted, we'll do some butterfly stroke with the arms. Breathing in as the arms come up and exhaling as they come back down. And then integrate the heel rise with the arms. Careful with the calf muscles if you're not used to this particular move. They get tired quite quickly, but regular practice soon gets them up to speed. They link to the adrenals on top of the kidneys, so they can help strengthen the move when we lift the heels. And as we exercise the ankles, there's a wealth of kidney and bladder points in that area. Breathing in as you come up and out as you come back down. And coming back to centre. Okay, next, spinning the wheel. So imagine you're holding a thin tube with both hands and flex the knees as much as you need to. So we're going to scribe a large circle around in one direction. So if you want to start to your left, and I'm going to come up the side here, then I'm going to have to rotate the hands around to follow the circle or the wheel, and then switch them around again down here. So keep the size of the wheel to your comfort level. Flex the knees as much as you need to as you come back down, or you can bend at the waist if you wish. But do be careful of your lower back. At the end of the day, this is another kidney move, so it's meant to nurture the kidneys and the lower back, which greatly influence that area. You'll generally find if you get really tired and worn out, your lower back is going to be more susceptible to discomfort, as it's going to reflect the low energy of your kidneys. And a good night's sleep can work wonders to restore your kidneys. Going to bed early by 9 o'clock can be very restorative. Okay, then back round the other way. As per usual, I'm breathing in as I come up and exhaling as I come back down. And we'll finish that. Okay, 2 hands climb the legs, a very good one for your kidneys and the connected bladder channel. So the edge of your hands against the waist, hands resting on the hips more or less. Scribe the hands around the waist, or the edges of the hands, and then bring the palms of the hands down the backs of the legs and fingers around the edges of the feet. So you can draw the palms back up the insides of the legs and come back to the start position. So an intricate pattern for the bladder channel down the backs of the legs, parallel channels down the tops, then they converge behind the knees and do a little zigzag down the backs of the calves to run along the edge of the outside of the foot to the little toe. And then the kidney channel starts from the base of the foot behind the ball and comes up the inside of your ankle and up the inside of the legs. Finishes up the top of the chest where we tap on kidney 27. And I generally exhale as I'm coming down the backs of the legs and inhale as I come back up. And then I do another little inhale and exhale as I go around the waist. So 2 hands climb the legs. This one commonly comes in the Bhadwan Jin or the 8 silk brocades. And back to centre. Okay, next we'll do pushing waves from the Shibashi Qigong sequence. So if you take a step forward with your left foot and bring your hands up to the shoulders, so dropping the elbows, and then sink down with both hands and move forward, raising the heel of the back foot. Sink down and move back. Breathing out as you move forward. Inhaling as you come back. Flex your ankles as you move backwards and forwards. Relax the shoulders so you sink down into the respective foot and your feet at the bottom of the move. Very easy to bunch the muscles up and have a little bit of disconnect from the feet with the arm movement. Breathing in as you come back and out as you move forward. And back to centre, and then we can repeat that move on the opposite side. So, very good relaxation move. Nice and calming. And come back to centre. So I've mentioned before the importance of the communication between the lungs and the kidneys. So a good marker of that is the trusty lung point inside the crook of your elbow, just the other side of the bicep tendon. And if you massage in there or dig in with your thumb tip, you can explore for any sensitivity on both sides. But the kidneys rely on the excess energy from the lungs to come down through the body to replenish the kidneys. So we're going to do a couple of lung moves to complement the balance of the kidneys. So we'll start with flying goose. So for this one, you're going to raise the heels of your feet first, then your arms, backs of the hands to touch, and then lower the heels and lower the arms. If your balance isn't up to it, just do the arm movements. You're going to get a lot of benefit from the movement through the chest and the shoulders. But if we grip the floor with our toes, that can improve stability and balance, and it will make a big difference on the surface of the floor that you're practicing on. You may find it a lot easier on a deep pile carpet than on a hard surface, or vice versa. Breathing in as you come upwards and exhaling as you come back down. So you want to flex in the knees when you start the move, The legs will naturally extend as you bring the arms up and come up on the toes, and then just flex the knees as you come back down. Lungs help us to express grief and sadness and to let go of emotion. So this can be a very good move to practice in times of bereavement when you tend to get very tired and potentially run down. And come back to centre. And obviously the first one we did, spinal cord breathing, another very good lung move and ties in nicely with the kidneys. And we'll just do the crossed arm breathing. So just fold your arms and then flex your knees. And as you breathe in, extend, bring the arms over the head. And back down. And then you can swap the fold of your arms. So you can either alternate each time that you come up with the folding of the arms, or do a set number of repetitions on each side. I'm currently in the swapping every time mode. Very good chest opener. Breathing in as you bring the arms over the head and exhaling as they come back down. One more repetition. Okay, we'll finish off with the Earth Mudra. So both palms upwards, one on top of the other, knees flexed. Drop the lower arm and hand and circle up. And bring the heel of the hand down into the opposite palm. I'm keeping a degree of flex in the knees, and you want to focus on your vertical axis. Think of the tuning fork. Breathing in as the arm comes up, out as the hand comes down. Focus on the energy dropping down into the feet, into the ground. Relaxing the muscles around the organised structure. Careful to keep the shoulders down, away from the ears, and keep them connected to your feet. And back to centre. Okay, that finishes this class. So ponder on your tuning fork and the frequency that you aspire to resonate at, and what you want to attract into your life and resonate with in the world around you. Okay, thank you.